I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya. A scare at two Flagler County schools, Buddy Taylor Middle and Wadsworth Elementary schools, were on code yellow lockdown Wednesday, but not due to any direct threats to the schools. Deputies say a situation inside a home on Pershing Lane in a nearby neighborhood prompted two roads to be shut down. Deputies say no students were ever in any danger. Classes continued as normal, but students weren't allowed to leave their classrooms. The incident comes after a school shooting in Parkland that killed 17 people. The Flagler County School Board is scheduled to meet behind closed doors next month to discuss potential changes in security at area schools.
This portion of WNZF Local News, a service of the Daytona Beach International Airport. Fly to the Big Apple in a New York minute on JetBlue from the Daytona Beach International Airport.
I hope you rot in prison until you die and never able to hurt someone else with your poison.
That was Sheriff Rick Staley's message to Joseph Colon, who he called a deadly poison pusher. Colon has been indicted on first-degree murder in the overdose death of 23-year-old Savannah DeAngelis. She was found unconscious in October of last year in Palm Coast. She died after 2 weeks on life support. Deputies say Colon was seen on surveillance entering DeAngelis' subdivision for what appeared to be a drug deal. Less than a half hour later, DeAngelis was discovered practically lifeless on the bathroom floor. Police believe she shot up heroin laced with fentanyl, delivered by Colon. State Attorney R.J. Larissa called this a unique charge in that first-degree murder is unusual in an overdose death.
The defendant, Colon, has a history of trafficking and sales in narcotics. It is unfortunate and somewhat troubling that our victim, Ms. DeAngelis, was placed in the drug court program, and 2 days later her paths crossed with the defendant, and subsequently she died of an overdose.
Staley issued this warning to other drug dealers.
If you peddle poison in our community, we are coming after you. If you murder someone with your drugs, we will find you, track you down, and arrest you for murder. It will be our goal that you spend the rest of your life in prison.
Colon was arrested in November on drug charges and has been held at the Flagler County Jail ever since. A Palm Coast man has entered a plea to a pair of Flagler County armed robberies, John Arking reports.
27-year-old Charles Eugene Rushing Griffin was arrested December 15th and charged with robbery with a weapon, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and driving with a suspended license after robbing a clerk at the Shell gas station on Palm Coast Parkway at gunpoint. Additional charges were later added for an armed robbery of Terra Nova's Pizzeria in Bunnell and an attempted robbery of a mobile gas station in Palm Coast. Wednesday morning, Rushing Griffin pleaded to 30 years in prison for the charges. He had faced 2 life sentences. Judge Dennis Craig made it clear Rushing Griffin would serve the full 30-year sentence day for day and would not be eligible for early release. Rushing Griffin will be 57 years old when he's released in 2048. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Arkin.
Changes are coming to Flagler County's Foreign Trade Service area. Rich Petchke has the details.
County commissioners are moving from Volusia County's Foreign Trade Zone to Jacksonville's after learning that a restructuring of Volusia's zone would mean that any applications from Flagler County would be subject to approval from Volusia. The Foreign Trade Zone allows items to be imported without paying customs or duty fees until the items make it to market. According to a report from the county, there is no charge to join Jacksonville's Foreign Trade Zone, and they have offered assistance to market Flagler County's association as a way to attract business. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Rich Petchke.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.